Fishin' Affliction. Hello.
It's time to wet a line. It's Fishin' Affliction time with those who got it bad.
Well, mom and dad's grab the kids, it's time for the fishing show. Me and the big dog's gonna go catch 'em down at the fishing hole. Well, you better stick around, 'cause you don't know what you're missing. Yeah, me and the big dog's got that fishing affliction. Grab your hats, grab your baits, don't forget your poles. We're gonna fire up that old Ranger boat and head to the fishing hole. We're gonna try to catch a biggin', yeah, that's what we're wishing. 'Cause me and the big dog's got that fishing affliction. Yeah, me and the big dog's got that fishing affliction. Yeah. Yeah, and we've got it bad.
I've got that fishing affliction.
Hey, I'm Art Depot, and I've got that fishing affliction.
Hi, I'm Denny Brower, and I've got that fishing affliction.
Hey, I'm Mark Menendez, and I've got that fishing affliction.
I'm Bobby Lane, and I got that fishing affliction.
Hi, I'm Chris Lane, and I got that fishing affliction.
I'm Shaw Drigsby, and I got that fishing affliction.
Just like me. Here, fishy, fishy here, fishy, fishy here, fishy, fishy here.
Confucius say, when you see frog on the outside of fishy's mouth, you net him.
Well, folks, it's time to wet a line, because it's Fishing Affliction time, and welcome into today's episode as we reach into the archives for a certified fan favorite and continue with our summer series on fishing the legendary Kentucky Lake as we feature part one of Big Grass, Big Bass, with the big dog and I catching a whole bunch of fish on those Strike King topwater baits. Today's Fishing Affliction product spotlight features the high-performance fishing gear made by Akuma. And if you can't get enough Fishing Affliction TV, then be sure to subscribe to us there at our YouTube channels. And at the end of the show, you'll meet the Fishing Affliction Facebook Friend of the Week. So sit back and enjoy as we continue with our summer series on fishing the legendary Kentucky Lake with part one of Big Grass, Big Bass, right here on Fishing Affliction TV. Well, folks, what a difference a year makes. It was a little over a year ago when the big dog and myself and Affliction Pro staffer Slammin' Sam Lashley enjoyed an incredible day of fishing, which became our Bassassination 2012 series, where we caught over 100 largemouths there on Kentucky Lake in just one day. And as we see this beautiful footage of Sam casting in the early morning sunrise there on Kentucky Lake, well, you can see there's one thing obvious. There is no grass that's growing on the surface. But folks, just a few weeks later, Kentucky Lake sprouted a topwater mat that was absolutely unbelievable. And when it happened, the fishing was incredible. And all it took was one phone call to the big dog to load up that beautiful Ranger boat so we could head on down to the legendary Kentucky Lake to fish the big grass for those big bass.
Hi, buddy.
What's going on, big dog?
I'm going fishing. What about you?
Why are we going
fishing?
You
got your camera out.
Daggum right. It's first thing in the morning. How are you this morning time? Where are we headed today?
First thing in the morning, it's 4:30 in the morning.
It is, man. What are we doing today?
We're going to Kentucky Lake, man.
How come?
Because we're not going fishing, we're going catching.
We going catching today?
I'm sure we're going
Did
catching.
you bring a lawnmower? Because I heard there's a ton of grass.
Well, I need a harvester down there.
All right.
Yeah, you're going to see, man. I mean, the grass is everywhere. It's a blast. I mean, the fish are in it. The grass is there. We're going to get them today.
That's going to be awesome. All right, big dog.
And I am not kidding you. We're going to get them.
Even me?
Yeah, you're going to get them.
Wow.
You're going to get them.
Big day. Folks, when the big dog said he needed a harvester to get through that thick grass on Kentucky Lake, well, he was only slightly exaggerating, just slightly. So he planed off that beautiful Ranger boat with that powerful Mercury motor on the back, and we sliced through that mat and headed for the secret fishing hole. where he could practice his stand-up comedy routine.
When's the last time you've seen the grass like this on this lake?
Last week.
You know, every once in a while, the viewers of Fishin' Affliction would like a serious answer from you.
I've never seen the grass like this out here. It's never been like this. It is absolutely took over this year. It's the most awesome it's ever been on this lake.
A series of Strike King baits today. We're a whole host of them that we'll be using, huh?
Yeah, we'll be throwing a swim bait. We'll be throwing the KVD frog. We'll be throwing an eliminator. The sexy dog has been coming into play a lot on different places. Shadowlicious has been a real good bait. I mean, is the grass underwater? Is it up on top? What's the level you're fishing? That's what, baits are like tools. You've got to use them like that, where you're doing the best presentation you can. And we're not going to be here very long if we don't get a bite, because we're not seeing any movement yet.
But that eliminator looks good, doesn't it?
Well, as the big dog was working that Strike King eliminator, I decided to pick up that Strike King buzz bait and make a couple of casts and catch the very first one of the day.
First Kentucky lake fish of the day. He's not a monster, but he's fun.
Yeah.
Caught on the Rage Monkey. Rage Monkey on that Strike King.
Well, you've been catching a few on that. So.
Yeah, all right. Pretty. Beautiful fish, huh?
Yeah, and we've got a perfect morning, man. I mean, we've got low light conditions, just a little bit of chop. I mean, perfect morning to start out. So.
You want to use my bait?
Maybe by the end of the day.
Another good one, big dog. This one feels like a little better fish. Ooh. Big dog. How about that? Look at there, huh? Oh, come here, you. Another nice little fish.
Oh yeah, that's a good chunk. Well, that's the second one in forecast. So.
Isn't that neat? Kentucky Lake. What a healthy lake. What a fun lake.
All right, so are you going to start boxing any of these for the end of the...
I didn't think about it.
Yeah, you can
Is that
box
a boxer?
Well, you can box it for the time being, but I hope by the end of the day it won't be a boxer.
Boxer it is.
Well, folks, it looks like one of us is starting to find those bass in the grass there on Kentucky Lake. And in a moment, we'll be right back with some more fish in action. But right now, let's go see some pictures from this week's
In the Wild.
Well, folks, Affliction Pro staffer Alan Catfish Cathy is holding up some big old Lake Barkley largemouths that he caught while throwing those Strike King baits. And this is Miss Terry Davis holding a big old catfish that her and her husband caught while jug fishing on the Cumberland River. Now, they didn't have any scales, but Terry said that this fish felt as heavy as their 5-year-old grandson that weighed about 45 pounds. And after a quick kiss, the fish was returned back to the wild. Folks, you can send your pictures to pics@fishaffliction.com and be sure to upload them to our Facebook page, and maybe you'll see them right here on the big screen.
In the Wild. Your pictures in the wild.
At Strike King, it starts with the concept. Next, it's all about perfecting the prototype. Finally, it's about catching a dream.
This is a new prototype crankbait we're working on. Strike King. It's called a 10XD.
Strike King 10XD.
Wow! A 5-bass limit!
Perfection to 25 feet and beyond. Catch your dream.
Smyrna Ready Mix is an established company that handles business daily with integrity and professionalism. Whether you're a general contractor, professional builder, or a do-it-yourself homeowner, SRM has your concrete solutions. With several convenient locations in the Middle Tennessee area to serve you, the only call you need to make is to SRM, ready to serve you with integrity and professionalism.
3,000 is a high number, and it represents the annual average number of deaths caused by drowning.
While learning to swim is an important safety tip in the prevention of drowning, and is far from the only one. Other tips include wearing a Coast Guard approved life jacket, swimming with a buddy, remembering that alcohol doesn't mix with boating or swimming, and learning cardiopulmonary resuscitation, or CPR.
Practicing water safety may take a few extra moments, but it could mean the difference between life and death.
Fishin' Affliction's Facebook trail for those who've got it bad. Brought to you by Smyrna Ready Mix.
Well, folks, Facebook. Most everybody's on it, and everybody's heard of it. And if you haven't liked Fishin' Affliction's Facebook page, then we urge you to do so you can be a part of the ever-growing community of Fishin' Affliction fans and participate in our weekly contest, upload your pictures, and even post your tournament trail results there at our Facebook page. Designed to keep you interactive and informed, it's the perfect way to communicate daily for those who've got it bad. Our thanks to Smyrna Ready Mix for sponsoring this segment of the show, and now back to Fishin' Affliction TV.
Big dog. How about that? Look at there, huh? Oh, come here. Another nice little fish.
Oh yeah, that's a good chunk. Well, that's the second one in full cast. So.
Isn't that neat? Kentucky Lake. What a healthy lake. What a fun lake.
All right, so are you going to start boxing any of these for the end of the...
You know, I didn't think about it.
Yeah, you can.
Is that a boxer?
Well, you can box it for the time being, but I hope by the end of the day it won't be a boxer.
Boxer it is. Well, folks, that's a dandy largemouth that I'm putting in the Rangers live wells for the end of the day's hero shot. And any body of water you have a chance to fish is truly a blessing. But when you have the opportunity to fish a bass factory like Kentucky Lake has become, sometimes you'll get so tickled by the sheer amount of fish you'll have the chance to catch.
He's on there, big. Oh,
he's bigger than you thought he was.
I thought he was, big dog. Hey, you know?
This is just like fishing Old Hickory, big dog.
Only with the fish. Only with the fish. The reason Dan's laughing, everybody, is he's made all of 10 casts. He's caught 3 fish and missed 2 others.
Big ones.
And I told him we're going catching today. We're not going fishing. So
oh my God,
I'm having fun watching him hang fish.
Oh, folks, Kentucky Lake.
It's a bass factory.
Oh, come on down. Come on down. Well, folks, as I was having so much fun catching those largemouths out of the back of the boat, the big dog was suffering from a case of can't catch your fish-itis.
Well, there he was.
That's a good fish.
Yeah, hit the rage toad. So we're swapping up our baits a little bit and just having fun, man.
That is fun.
Just having fun. Dang it. Dang it.
The perils of filming.
You know what? Oh, that's 2 I've lost in a row. That's not very good, is it? Not very good at all. All right, back to work.
That's when you want me to leave, isn't it? You want me to go to the back of the boat?
No, I want you to go out of the boat. All right, back to work,
That was a pretty good fish right there. We just flipped over from a sexy dog, right, to a frog now?
Yeah, but I mean, the fish was a 2.5 pound fish, which is not a giant down here. I'm just losing them.
Well, did you see the way the guy in the back of the boat's catching them with frequency?
Yeah, I have seen that. He's doing an excellent job today.
And they're pretty good with the camera work, evidently, right here. Just got a really good profile shot of you.
Well, thank you so much.
We like to call this the profile of a disappointed fisherman. That's right. That's just a couple minutes later, not even. Oh, that's a nice fish, big dog.
Confucius say, when you see frog on the outside of a fish's mouth, you net him.
Fraybill makes something called a net.
Yeah, and when I hang a really big one, I'm gonna net him because I see how I'm doing with the other. But that was a little bit more solid fish right there.
That was a dandy. That's just a couple casts later. Now, when you see them, that they do have the bait on the outside of their mouth. Anything that they swatting at it, they want it, or what? They just missed it coming through the grass. You were saying sometimes they just don't get it.
He was trying to eat it. I mean, he come up on top and nailed it. He just, you know, he had I really think he had the legs in his mouth and didn't have all the frog in his mouth. And when I set the hook, I got part of the bass.
Well, good luck on your next one, Big Dog.
Well, thank you there, Dan.
You got him. Is he down in it?
Daggone it. No, he come loose.
What are you dadgumming?
I thought he was bigger than that. I thought he'd come on.
Woo!
I thought he'd come on. That fish hit the eliminator.
Way up there too, huh?
Oh yeah, he hit. I really thought he was a lot bigger than that.
Boy, they just acrobatic out of the water.
He got a good hook, but real dark, good large mouth.
You want one for your side?
No.
I mean,
but boy, they're tearing my bait up bad. You know.
Striking eliminator, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, an eliminator.
What size mustad hook is that, Big Dog?
It is a 6, I think, on this one. I use a real big hook on it.
Well, folks, while the Big Dog is trying to rig that Strike King Eliminator back up, let's talk about the hook and line combination that the Big Dog is using. First, he's using a Mustad Megabite extra wide gap hook in a size 6/0, and this Mustad hook is perfectly suited for those bigger bodied plastics like that Strike King Eliminator. And now for the line. Well, we are using Seagar's Kansan braid in 60-pound test, and this new braided line from Seagar performs at the highest level and is considered to be among the best braided lines ever made. And this Kansan braided line along with that Mustad hook is the perfect combination for getting those big old Kentucky Lake largemouths out of that thick matted grass. And be sure to rig up an outfit with that brand new KVD Sexy Frog from Strike King, because bass love them. And the Big Dog's going to try to show you that just as soon as he can tie his bait into his line. Well, while you're doing that,
taking me too long to get back in the ball game.
I'm going to go play in the ball game.
All right. Here he comes in. Well, that one there tricked me. I thought he was better than he was. He tricked me. But he ate the froggy.
That's beautiful, isn't it?
They're really dark color, and that's from that. I'm going to tell you, they really got teeth, and they're really a dark color.
You know what I noticed, though?
What?
I've got 2 in my side.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? We'll see how many you got there at the end of the day, I guess. That's fishing.
Wow. Wow. Well, folks, you heard it. The Big Dog has issued a challenge, so we'll just have to see how this trip is going to play out. But so far, I've got 2 keepers, and the Big Dog has none. And in a moment, folks, we'll be right back to Fishin' Affliction TV, fishing the big grass for those big bass. But right now, let's head upstairs to the kitchen to see what Miss Vicki Porter's got cooking this week.
In the Skillet with Chef Vicki Porter is brought to you by Cleepy.com, turning your precious memories into video treasures.
Welcome to In the Skillet. I'm Vicki Porter, and today I have an appetizer recipe for you that's both easy and delicious. It's for my bacon sausage bites. And now for the ingredients. You will need kielbasa sausage, bacon, orange marmalade, lime juice, Dijon mustard, hot sauce, and soy sauce. After cutting your sausage into half-inch pieces, wrap each piece with a piece of bacon and secure it with a toothpick. Then put them on a cookie sheet lined in aluminum foil. Now let's put these in the oven and bake them at 400 for 15 minutes. Take them out, flip them over, and bake them for another 15 minutes. And while they're cooking, we'll make the orange marmalade dipping sauce. First, in a bowl, add your orange marmalade, a little bit of soy sauce, a little bit of Dijon mustard, now some lime juice, and a dash of hot pepper. Now mix this all together, and when you get ready to serve it, put it in the microwave for about a minute. After this is finished cooking, you're ready to enjoy these delicious bacon sausage bites. You can find this recipe at intheskillet.com, and be sure and click on the YouTube icon to see this recipe as well as all my other In the Skillets. And folks, be sure and send your recipes to me at Vicki@intheskillet.com, and you might see your recipe right here in the Skillet on Fishin' Affliction TV. I'm Vicki Porter. Tune in next week to see what's cooking in the Skillet.
As fishermen, we're predators, and fish are the prey. In nature, the best fishermen have one thing in common: their eyes. How do you turn your eyes into the eye of a predator? It takes 11 layers of lens technology and a new lens color to make the human eye emulate the eye of a predator. Stop buying glasses for the classes. Make yourself an alpha predator.
Hello everybody, I know you're looking forward to the fall hunting seasons. I know a lot of you are looking forward to the most social hunt of the year, and that's the opening of the dove season across Tennessee. And like all the years before, most all the years before, it's going to open at September the 1st at noon. And this year that happens to be on a Sunday. If your person's got private property and you're going to private hunt, you're in good shape. If you're a person like me that always has to look for public land, then you want to get to this guide. This is the 2013 Tennessee Hunting and Trapping Guide, and it will tell you where dove hunts are going to be made possible on areas that the TWA owns, where you have to have a permit and your licenses to hunt. But it's public hunting areas, and there's some darn good hunts that take place on them. You also want to make sure you go to tnwildlife.org and check out leased fields. Leased fields are private fields that the agency goes and approaches the landowner and actually gets to rent it or lease it for a few days so he can open it up, so we can open it up to the public and you can go hunting. But the best way to check on that is to go online, tnwildlife.org, all the way up to the day of the hunt, because TWA is waiting to see if there are birds coming into a field as best they can, and then they're releasing those fields so you can go out and possibly have a really good hunt. tnwildlife.org. And these leased hunts are held across the state, Middle East, West, in between, everywhere. Leased hunts and TWA hunts. Check it out. Go out on September 1st and have a good hunt. And remember, after that first day, the dove season opens a half hour before sunrise. I'll see you next week right here on Fishin' Affliction.
On today's Fishin' Affliction product spotlight, I want to talk to you about the high performance gear made by Akuma. And folks, high performance, that's exactly what Akuma makes. Rods and reels, all kinds of freshwater and saltwater equipment they make. Incredible high performing gear. I have an EVX rod in my hand along with a Krios reel. Folks, you won't believe the assortment of rods and reels that you can find there at akumafishing.com. Be sure to check out their website and see that incredible selection of high performance gear made by Akuma. And there's no doubt that you'll be impressed just like we are here at Fishin' Affliction TV. And now back to Fishin' Affliction. Welcome back to Fishin' Affliction TV, and this segment of the show is brought to you by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Mercury Outboards, #1 on the water. Akuma, high performance fishing gear. The ever powerful and long lasting Deca batteries. Seaguar, always the best. Mustad hooks, stays sharper longer. Onyx life jackets and rain gear, keeping you there. Freybill, trusted gear since 1938. Reel Magic, the name says it all. Rugged electronic mounts provided by Ram Mounts. Wigwam Socks, the performance sock company. bbgmarine.com, and Tournament Wear. Look great, feel great, do great.
Here he comes in. Well, that one there tricked me. I thought he was better than he was. He tricked me. But he ate the froggy.
That's beautiful, isn't it?
They're really dark color, and that's from that. I'm gonna tell you, they really got teeth and they're really a dark color.
You know what I noticed though?
What?
I've got 2 in my side.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? We'll see how many you got there at the end of the day, I guess. That's fishing.
Wow. Wow. Well, maybe a little early morning jealousy in the boat, folks. I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure about that. All right, folks, the In the Boat Challenge has been issued by the Big Dog, and I am up a couple fish right now, but anytime that you're fishing this type of matted grass, you still have to search and locate those largemouths because they'll have a favorite place along that grass line. So with that in mind, we fired up the big Mercury motor and headed across this grass mat, which, believe it or not, is in 6 foot of water. And when we got to the other side, it was time to pick up that Strike King Eliminator to see if I could add one to my total fish count and stay ahead of the Big Dog.
Oh, they're fun, isn't it, Big Dog?
Yeah, that's a chunk.
Another Strike King Eliminator fish, though.
Yeah, we just made a move and hit another little area right here. So maybe this will pay off.
Yep, and boy, having patience on that top water bite. Sometimes you just have to get used to it, don't you?
Well, there's no science to it, man. Sometimes they eat it up and they got the hook, and then sometimes they just don't get it.
Well, this one got it.
Got it. Back to work.
All right, Big Dog.
Boy, he got around something. I don't think he's that big, but he got around something. Nope. Look, that one's on the outside of the head, too. Time for me to switch color frogs, maybe.
And that can be an indicator to do so, huh?
Well, yeah. Well, it's just my frog. He does have it. He's got it good. The hook was in his mouth. But he's just not a big fish.
Why don't you change it and let me borrow that frog?
Okay. I don't mind, because I know you've been having to fish Old Hickory, and I've been able to come down here. And this is not Old Hickory.
You know, we say we have to, we get to. Blessed to do it, no matter what. But there is a tremendous difference. It's hard to believe what a 2-hour drive can do from a standpoint of catching fish.
I'm gonna tell you what, man, this is a bass fishery and a half right now, and I'm gonna tell you, it is a bass making machine right now, because you've got all the little plankton and everything in this grass. The baits in here, they're getting full, they're getting charged up. The hatch this year, I've noticed this, I'm catching all kind of small bass, 6, 7, 8-inch fish. So the hatch is just killer this year. And boy, it ought to make next year just, I mean, it would hard to be able to believe this place was any better, but next year should be better than that. Okay, there's number 4.
That was a dandy fish right there.
Yeah, and you know what I'm glad? This internment day, that's what I'm really glad of. Because if I've got to have what's commonly referred to as the losies, if I've got to have the losies, then I want to have it on a day where it's not going to be getting in my pocketbook.
Well, folks, maybe losing these fish is not affecting his pocketbook, but it sure is helping my confidence in the back of the boat, because I'm steady catching them. And next week, folks, it's part 2 as we're there in that big grass trying to catch those big bass. And folks, will the Big Dog still have the losies? Well, tune in to Fishin' Affliction TV next week and you'll see.
A better fish right there. And he got off. That's number 5.
This week's Team Fishin' Affliction featured Facebook friend is
Joe Pem.
And thanks for being our Facebook friend. For your chance to join in the fun and become an official Team Fishin' Affliction featured Facebook friend, simply like us on Facebook. And be sure to write a comment on our wall. As always, a big thank you to all of our national and local sponsors for providing us with the most advanced technology and highest quality products and services. Be sure to visit each of our partners online through the sponsor links page on our official website at fishandaffliction.com. And this is your old pal Matthew Gillen, the voice of Fishin' Affliction TV, hoping that you'll tune in next week, because there's no doubt that Dan and the Big Dog got it bad. They've got Fishin' Affliction for those who got it bad.
Go, 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 go. Go. Go, go, go. Go on. Go. Go, go, go.
Go.